Yo, what's good out there, world? Welcome to this edition of Trademark Sunday's Best, the Prep Edition. And today, I'm going to be making for you a homemade chicken Italian style lasagna, and the ingredients are as follows. So, right here I have 1 box of lasagna. I'm going to be also using 6 ounces of this Catalina tomato paste and 28 ounces in all of this Catalina diced tomatoes. I'm going to be using 1 pound of this Purdue organic ground chicken, and right here I have 12 ounces of this Adel or natural Italian style smoked chicken sausage. Now here are my cheeses that I'm going to be using. Right here I have some Parmesan cheese, I have some Fiesta pepper jack, right here I have some white Vermont extra sharp cheddar cheese, and right here I have some mozzarella cheese. Right here I'm going to be using some garlic. You can use fresh garlic if you like, but just cutting garlic is a pain for me. I'm going to be using a little brown sugar, and this is optional. To season my lasagna, I'm going to be using some Italian seasoning. Right here I have some Himalaya pink salt, some parsley flake, garlic powder, and also I'm going to be using some white pepper. Because I'm not a big fan of ricotta cheese or avocado cheese, I decided to make a bechamel sauce. It's kind of like a cream cheese sauce. You use some flour, some milk, and you use a little butter, and you cream that up in a pan, and you just mix that up in the lasagna. But here are the ingredients for my homemade lasagna. Now, let's get to cooking. So here I have my vegetables sauteed in 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. And I'm just going to cook this until my veggies get tender. When my veggies are tender, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of my minced garlic. And then I'm just going to toss this around about for 30 to 45 seconds. Because I don't want my garlic to burn. But before I take it off the flame, I want to add just a little bit of my McCormick vegetable seasoning. So I'm going to get this out the pan, and I'm going to see you guys at the next step. So now that my noodles are done, I'm going to lay them out here on my cookie sheet. So first I'm going to spray it down with a little canola oil. And then I'm just going to take my noodles and just lay them flat. And the reason why I laid the oil down is so they won't stick. And in between each layer, we want to just spray a little canola oil. And then continue to lay down our lasagna noodles. So now it's time to make the bechamel sauce. So to make this cream cheese sauce, I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of flour, and I'm going to stir it up until it becomes pasty. But the key to this is add the same amount of flour as you do butter. So once it becomes doughy like this, now we want to start adding in our milk. So right here I have 1.5 cups of cold white milk, and I'm going to add it in 3 different portions. And I'm just going to keep stirring this until it becomes smooth. And now I'm going to switch off to my whisk. So now I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of this Vermont sharp cheddar cheese, and I'm going to continue to stir until all the cheese has melted. So now I'm adding in my chicken sausage. And I didn't mention earlier that my chicken sausage also have mozzarella in it. And I'm adding in my ground chicken. So now that my ground chicken has started to cook a little bit, now I'm ready to go in with my seasonings. So for my ground chicken, I'm going to keep it simple. Something I didn't have on the table, but I'm going to add is some Morton's seasonal. Now I'm going to go in with some Himalaya pink salt. And a little bit of garlic powder. And then I'm going to continue to let this cook until it gets done. And then I'm going to see you guys at the next step. So now that my sausage and my ground chicken is done, I want to add in my 28 ounces of diced tomatoes, also my 6 ounces of tomato paste. And now I'm going to add in my sauteed vegetables. And I'm just going to mix this right on up. And remember, this part is optional. I'm going to add in like 1/4 of a cup of this dark brown sugar. And then I'm just going to stir all this in. Right here I have 1 cup of water. Now I'm not going to add the whole cup. I'm just going to add in a little at a time because right now I feel as though that is too thick. But at the same time I don't want it runny. So I'm just going to go in just with a little bit. This is probably like, I probably just put in 2 tablespoons for real. And then I'm just going to continue to stir this up. So now I'm going to start adding in my seasoning. So right here, this is my McCormick's Perfect Pinch Italian seasoning. And I'm not like, you know, going in with no certain amount of measurements. I'm eyeballing this. And then I'm going to just give this a quick mix. And now I'm going to go in with some garlic powder. Give it a quick mix. And let me go get the rest of my seasoning. Right here, I'm getting ready to go in just with a little dash of this white pepper. And let me see if I forgot anything. Right here, I have some parsley. I don't really need too much of this because I use the Italian seasoning. So I'm gonna finish putting this together. I'm getting ready to give it a little taste test. See if I need to add any more seasoning in. And remember, you use the seasonings that you like. But if you're trying to make it like I'm making it, you use what I use. But I'm gonna see you guys at the next step, and we ready to put this together. You see everything before I assemble it. So right here I have my ground chicken and my Italian chicken sausage. Here I have my cheese. I already grated everything off camera. Right here is my Fiesta pepper jack. I have my white Vermont cheddar cheese sharp. Right there I have my shredded Parmesan. And here I have my mozzarella. Here are my lasagna noodles. And here is my sauce. Now, this is the first time I made the sauce. It's not as creamy as I would like it to be, but it is quite tasty. And today, I'm going to assemble my lasagna here in my crock pot. And I'm going to cook it in my oven, but I'm just going to use my crock pot. So, let's get to assembling. Do a spray a little canola oil in my crock pot. And then I'm going to layer it just with a little bit of sauce. And normally my first layer, I try not to put too much meat. I just try to put more sauce because you just really want this so your noodles can have something to stick to. And then I'm going to just spread this around. Now I'm going to take my noodles and I'm just going to lay this out in my crock pot. And I'm going to let you see how it looks, how this first beginning of layer look. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of this sauce. Next, I'm going to go in with some of this meat sauce. So now let's add in our grated cheese. First, I'm going to go in with some of this Vermont sharp cheddar cheese. Next, I'm going to add some of this Fiesta pepper jack. Then I'm going to go in with some of this Parmesan cheese. And lastly, I'm going to add some of this mozzarella cheese. And I'm going to repeat this process until all the ingredients are all mixed in thoroughly.